Welcome to the Financial Advisor's Advisor, brought to you by Elite Consulting Partners. It's the only podcast offering unfiltered guidance and direct advice for all things concerning financial advisors, RIAs, and the practitioners in the wealth management business. Learn more and subscribe today at eliteconsultingpartners.com/podcast. And now, here's your host, the Financial Advisor's Advisor himself, Frank LaRosa.
Hey everybody, welcome to our inaugural episode of Behind the Wheel with Elite Consulting Partners. My name is Frank LaRosa. I'm the CEO of Elite Consulting Partners. And with me today, as always, and now he's stuck in the car with me, my right-hand man and COO, Dale Dempsey. What's up, Dale?
Hi.
We are heading out to go meet with some clients, and we're stuck in some Pennsylvania traffic along the Schuylkill, one of the worst places to drive on the East Coast probably. And anyway, we wanted to talk to you today. Thought it was an opportune time since we'll be sitting in traffic for the next hour. Not that we plan on talking to for an hour, but one of the goals that we try to do every week on our podcast, which is the Financial Advisor's Advisor, and you can also check out this episode and our podcast episodes on YouTube at the Financial Advisor's Advisor. Follow me on Instagram at franklarosa.elite. But what we try to do is really bring content that is relevant to everyone that's listening, what's going on in the marketplace. We did a podcast last week, or actually this week, on what was at the time rumors that Ladenburg Thalmann was going to be sold to Advisor Group, and we sort of outlined what we thought was going to be the case. And the news got announced on, I guess it was Tuesday night.
Yes.
And basically what we had speculated, what we had hoped was going to happen, happened. So it was really good news. We're not getting into that today, so if you want, you can go check out episode 22.
20, yeah, it's 21 or 22.
22 on our podcast. What I want to talk about today was sort of the art of the deal. And this goes out to anyone that is in the process of making a move. And there's an art and a science to negotiating the deal when you're moving your practice from one firm to another firm. And what we try to do as consultants is really manage that process so that you don't blow up what is arguably a fantastic deal. And we see that often. We have that going on a little bit this week with a couple of our clients. And what I mean by that is, if you're moving from firm A to firm B, it doesn't matter the firm. You're a seller, right? Even though you're not selling your book to the firm, you're perceived as a seller. And the firm you're going to is a buyer. And like in anything, the seller wants to get as much money for whatever they're selling as they can, and the buyer wants to pay as little as they can. And you have to sort of walk a fine line between being overly greedy, coming across the wrong way, and really just sort of blowing up what can be a fantastic relationship with you, because you're going to be at this next firm, hopefully, for the rest of your career, and you don't want to create any bad blood or ill will towards whether it's the brand, if you're going into a W-2 model, maybe you're going from Merrill Lynch to UBS or RBC, doesn't matter where you're going. That manager's trying to do the best that they can for their deal, and you're trying to get as much as you can for your practice when you make the move. And we just find all too often that I know everybody thinks that they're special, but sometimes you're just not that special. There's a lot of $1 million producers in the marketplace. And you have to sort of be a little more humble, I guess is where I'm coming from, because a lack of humility in negotiating can actually hurt you. And we try to coach our clients in being able to push the envelope and understanding that you have a really good practice, and being humble and being a good potential partner. As an example, you may be negotiating with your branch manager, with the new branch manager, or with the recruiter at a firm, and you're pressing on them on why your deal should be bigger than the last person that came in, because you have more advisory business, or you have more growth, you have a better trajectory of your business, and it's going to grow, and they should be paying more for your firm, for your practice than the next guy. And some of that might be accurate, but the firm still has to make an investment, right? They're still taking money and they're giving you the money, making an investment in your business. And they have something called an internal rate of return that every firm wants to achieve. And, you can accomplish that in a couple different ways, but every firm has that. And if you push a firm that cuts into that internal rate of return, you might blow up a deal. And there's things that you should be doing. So, for instance, and Dale, if you want to, you can chime in anytime. But what we always there's basically two parts to a transition deal. There's lots of little parts, but the main two parts are the money that you're going to get to make the move. We'll call that the upfront dollars, and the payouts that you're getting once you get there. And a lot of advisors make the mistake of pushing the envelope of getting as much upfront as they possibly can, versus arguing about getting a higher payout, or the firm investing in their practice over a 10-year period of time. And so you have to walk that fine line. Now, I get a lot of people want money, and you need all the money. You want to hit the bid, and you want to get as much money as you can up front. But sometimes to the detriment of your long-term profitability of your business. So we're talking with a guy right now, what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And the difference in payouts between firm A and firm B is about 28 percentage points on $2 million in production. And so firm A is giving the guy about $500,000 and a 60% payout, roughly. Firm B is not giving him any money, but they're giving him close to a 90% payout. And although giving up $500,000, this guy's getting $500,000, he's going to make up that $500,000 in a very short period of time. And then he's off to the races. Then after the second or third year, which is the break even roughly, he's off to the races. And so we're trying to help this advisor not make the mistake of getting enamored with a $500,000 check, where he's going to be picking up 28 percentage points on $2 million every single year.
But where he's running into trouble, he's the firm that he's going to pick up 28 basis points with, 28%. He's running the risk of pushing them too far out of their comfort zone.
Right.
Which
already happened to the guy once before.
Yeah, and he's doing it again. So
tell him what happened.
Yeah, essentially, he doesn't have a good understanding of what the firm's comfortable with and not, and he's not listening to us when we're trying to give him guidance on where those limitations are. And so he already blew up a deal because he was asking way too much, way too quickly from a firm.
Right, he was asking for this firm to go outside their comfort zone with what they were trying to put together, which they were actually considering doing. But when a firm, like anybody in life, when you go outside your comfort zone, you overthink it, and because it makes you uncomfortable, you're really reluctant to do it. And any pressure that someone puts on you makes you just want to run back to your comfort zone. And so what he was doing was putting pressure on the firm to make a decision. And the firm made a decision. They said, you know what, forget about it. We're out. We're just walking away. And he blew a tremendous opportunity.
And you would never do that with a client as an advisor, right? Well, you think you wouldn't, because it's the same scenario. You would never try to pressure a client to do something with the money that they just weren't comfortable with.
Right. It's like
you would never push it too far.
Exactly. It's like trying to get a client to pay way too much for an advisory fee, and they're thinking about it, they're not sure, and you keep pressuring them, and that pressure makes them feel so uncomfortable that they just say, you know what, I think we're gonna go in a different direction. Right? You get that one. Hey, I think you're great, but we're gonna go in a different direction.
Part of the issue I see is what's advertised in the news when it comes to these transition deals is not, there's not enough detail around what's really going on. And advisors, when trying to negotiate that stuff out, will typically look at these deals and try to mimic them and not really understand what's going on behind the scenes with them.
Well, right, because look, some of your buddies out there have we'll call broker's math, right? So someone leaves a firm and everyone talks about what they get. And there's a little bit of broker's math there, and sometimes they round the numbers up with what they got, and then we talk to you and you're telling me, well, Bill Smith got X, Y, and Z, so that's what I should get, or I should get more than that because I have my better practice. It's not really the case. When you start talking to a firm, you have to be open with them. You have to give them your information. You have to, when they first come out with the offer, in my experience, is that a firm really is never going to come out with their best offer. And the first mistake that advisors make is not understanding that and getting pissed off, getting insulted, and they have the wrong attitude. Where we try to come into play, and if you're not working with an advisor, we hope you take this advice and run with it. But we'd also say that you should work with an advisor or a consultant like us who will help you through this. Where we come into play is get you to settle down, try to take the emotion out of the deal, because you're going to be emotionally attached to the deal, but the firm that you're going to go to isn't, right? They haven't spent 25 years building that practice, talking to those clients, dealing with clients, going to funerals, graduations, all that stuff. So I got red lights. Like, we're not going through a red light district. This is just a truck in front of me. The brakes on. So try to take the emotion out of it. And our advice to our clients is, when they first hear a deal, just say, thank you very much. I appreciate this. It looks very interesting. Don't say it looks great. Don't say this is bullshit. This is not what I thought it was going to be. Just say, it definitely looks interesting. I need to think about it. I need to go through my thought process and my analysis of what makes sense and get back to you. And then sort of look at it the next day with a clean set of eyes, unemotional. And then that's when you start talking about your deferred comp. What's the present value of your deferred comp? Guys get into make mistakes where they have $500,000 or say $500,000 in deferred comp, but they're not getting that deferred comp for 10 years. And you make the mistake by trying to get a firm to give you, $500,000 of deferred comp you're not getting for 10 years, give it to you today. So you have to be reasonable. Maybe they only give you $150,000, right? Whatever the present value is of that deferred comp. Some firms will give you deferred comp in the same schedule that the firm that you're giving up. That's right. That's an ask. We call that an ask. So that's a good ask. Hey, look, I'm not saying give it to me all up front. Give it to me in the back. However, I'm going to be getting it from my firm. The other piece of it is talking about the payouts. If you're going independent, it's all about the top line payout and the bottom line net. And so, what is your payouts? A point here and there makes a lot of sense. If a firm is stuck on a specific number, if they're at 90%, maybe you want to go to 92. Give them something. Give them a reason to get you to 92. So maybe it's a hurdle that you have to hit. If I come over doing $1 million, and if I get to $1.5 million, I get a 2% bump on my grid. So give them something that they can build into their formulas where they can manage the internal rate of return. And if you don't hit it, then there's no skin off their back. There's no risk. And if you do hit it, congratulations, you got 92% payout. But now they've also got to produce us doing $1.5 million. And that helps their internal rate of returns. Because they all bake in sort of a discount to your performance when you come over. But
the key is you can't go too far with it. You can't ask for something that's way outside and unreasonable,
right?
And you will blow the deal up every time.
Right.
They'll walk away because, candidly, there's a lot of advisors out there, and
Well, there are a lot of advisors, and there'll be another $1 million guy coming down the street right after you, and so you have to really make them want to be your partner. Sell yourself to them as to why you're the guy or gal that they want to go stretch the deal for, because you're going to grow, you're going to be a partner, you're going to be their advocate, you're going to be the person that they can send referrals to pitch why they should join the firm, all of that stuff. And the last piece of it that I think that I want to just get across, because again, about being humble about it, making yourself be a good partner, not being overly greedy, but there's nothing wrong with asking for a lot. A lot of times it's just how you ask and how you react when they come back with a no or something less than you thought. And you have to listen to what they're saying. But the last piece of it, which is where this is sort of one of my, I don't want to say a trick, but it is what it is. It's not a trick, but it's the tactic. Sort of, it's a tactic that I employ that helps our clients. And generally what I tell advisors that are our clients that are really trying to get that last bit, what I sort of call cutting into the bone of a deal, I'll tell them that I won't ask for that extra piece. Maybe it's $25,000 in marketing money or something a little extra. We're at 91 and we want to go to 92. That's that one piece. And so a client will say to me, hey, look, I'm ready to go to this firm, but I really would like to get that 92% payout. That's when I go to the firm at the right time with a very specific ask and a specific close. And that means if you can give my client a 92% payout, they will join in 6 weeks, or they will join in 4 weeks, or they will join by the end of the year. That you have their commitment that if you give them this or that, they're in. Because that gives them something tangible they're not bidding against themselves. They know, okay, we're there. And then that's usually when you get sort of the cherry on top, or what I call cutting into the bone, where it makes the firm, a little uncomfortable, right?
Right.
That's how I've seen advisors get the very best out of deals, by not being greedy, by being humble about who they are in their practice. Again, and being humble doesn't mean you can't be confident. And sort of the art of the deal, and knowing when to push, when not to push, and how to react. And we've just seen so many advisors, and a couple this week, and they're not dead, but it creates some hostility. And so we've seen so many advisors, at least I have over the years, blow up really, really good deals because they just got too greedy and they asked for too much. And like Dale's saying, they pushed the firm too far and too fast for the firm to come to a comfortable decision. And there's less risk on a firm to just say no and walk away than to push a decision that they weren't comfortable with, right? Because a lot of times, especially if you're in a W-2 environment or a retail environment, if you push and make a bad decision, you could cost somebody their job. And so no one's going to really do that for anyone.
Right.
So anyway, we're still stuck in traffic, probably for another 45 minutes or so, but that's okay. We wanted to get this out to you just because we dealt with this a lot this week and we thought it was really relevant. There's a lot of deals being made between now and the end of the year. Now is a great time to get top dollar for your business, but not if you're greedy and not if you're not humble about it and presenting yourself as a good partner for the firm you're going to. So be careful about it. If you want to talk about a deal that you're working on right now, we'd be happy to give you a consultation, no charge. Even if you've already made a decision on where you're going, reach out to us, 856-316-4653 for Dale and 4651 for me. Frank at eliteconsultingpartners.com or Dale at eliteconsultingpartners.com. Don't forget to check out our iTunes, our podcast on iTunes, The Financial Advisor's Advisor, and our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot. Safe driving. We'll see you on the other side.
Thanks for listening to the Financial Advisors Advisor podcast with Frank LaRosa. If you're looking for more advice or solutions on any topics in the financial services industry, or you just want to subscribe to our podcast, head on over to eliteconsultingpartners.com/podcast.